Good evening, everyone. Brian Hoops, Midwest Market Solutions. This is our closing commentary. We're doing a little bit different format. Going to try this out. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think on this. This closing video series will replace our audio comments that come out every night, and it'll be put on our website, kind of archived there. So our intention is to do away with commentary on just an audio sense and go into more video commentaries. We're going to look at some charts here in a second, but hopefully you'll find this more advantageous to you and your farm operation. But let's look at news from today. We had 131,000 metric tons soybean sale to China. That gave soybeans a pretty firm boost out of the gate this morning. We were stronger overnight, and we did see some strength early in the day. Now that did fade as we were getting some positioning ahead of Thursday's supply and demand reports, and those reports expected to be showing virtually unchanged yields in corn and soybeans from last month from the USDA. But trade is positioning maybe for a little bit of a bearish report as we did trade lower during the session today. Also, Russia was the point of origin for the Egyptian wheat tender. They have bought 170,000 metric tons of wheat from Russia today, keeping the U.S. away from any world export business. After the close, we had crop progress and conditions. Corn, 22% good to excellent. That's up 5% is all from last week. Now we're 5% behind where the trade expected we would be, and we're almost 15% behind a year ago levels. Soybean harvest advanced to 36% done, and that is right where the trade expected, but we're almost 9% behind last year. So, the wet conditions certainly having an effect. This slow harvest pace should be a little supportive for the markets, but really not going to move us too much. We've been in a very narrow trading range in corn. We'll look at that here in a second, and probably no reason to break out of it based off of this conditions report. Winter wheat planting's 48% done, so we're nearly half done. 36% last week. The average is 58. So. Livestock news, we did have a report about August beef exports. They're up 15% above year-ago levels, the highest since July of 2013. So a friendly number there. Now we've got big supplies, and we've talked about that, but I talked about this on RFD TV earlier today. Those big supplies being offset by very strong demand, and we had a huge run in the cattle market today. Let's start there with some charts. All right, we're back and looking at a chart here. This is a continuation chart of the cattle. Look at this good base of support we built in August and September. We've held that support, and even though we came and took out this low here, we've had a lot of buying interest come in during a seasonal time frame where we get some strength in this cattle market. Here's seasonal strength noted all the way through October until third week or so of October. Then we turn lower. But look at this breakout. We took out this high here on this cattle chart, and this is potentially kind of a chart breakout, and doesn't mean that we'll just go straight up. We could actually come back down to test that area about 90 cents lower in the December contract, but looks friendly from a chart perspective. Seasonals are higher, and we talked about the strong demand that we see in the cattle, giving us some strength here in this market. Here's a chart of feeders. We have not taken out this high. This would be the continuation chart again. Now if we go to just a daily chart, let's flip to November daily feeder cattle. Here we're still knocking on this door of this resistance, so we haven't taken out those highs. But if we go to some of the back months, here we're making new highs today. January and March certainly has done that in the last several days, making new highs up around this 152 area. Going to the grains, corn, we talked about December corn. Look at this. You could draw this line right here. You can even bump it up to 346. Very little time spent below it. I think this is a major low that we're trying to carve out, but we just don't have much in the way of upside movement. Certainly we've not been above this high, 361 if you drew a line here. We haven't been above that at all in this corn market. We're just in a real sideways channel for this entire month. So nowhere to go here in this corn market, just chopping around. Seasonals are a little bit higher in December corn. I don't think anyone's real interested in making any sales in December corn or even March until we get back into some of these retracement levels, and I think that could come during the winter months here and into spring. Look at the soybeans. We're holding a little uptrend here in this market. If we extend this out in November beans, want to make sure that we hold this. Back on the last report back in here, we kind of came down, tested it prior to the report, and the report was friendly. This is the quarterly stocks numbers that I mentioned. It wasn't a bullish report, but we wasn't real bearish either, and we rallied off of that. So market's still holding this uptrend. Got to respect that little trend of the market in here, especially with the good demand that we've had. Take a look at wheat. We're we're kind of just going sideways. We got a little uptrend going in the wheat, but we're starting to move the market back down here in the month of October. And part of the reason why is this U.S. dollar. Flip to that. You see this market had been in a long, steady downtrend until September, and as we turn the calendar to late September and October, the market has gone into an uptrend here, a short-term uptrend. And unless this thing really breaks down, the wheat market probably will continue to struggle based off of what the U.S. dollar is doing. So if we can look at Kansas City wheat here. We had a little trading channel. We broke below that as the dollar had strengthened. So this month of October has not been very kind to the wheat market so far, and we're just really in a lack of any export news here to give us any strength in this wheat market. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this new format, and give us, like I said, give us some feedback. Let us know if this is something that you like, if you like the old format better. But we hope you can access this, and if you ever have any questions, just contact us. This has been Brian Hoops, Midwest Market Solutions. Have a great night, everybody. Talk to you soon.